This is Real Estate This Week with Stephen Gasque, continuing 16 years on air and online, helping you succeed in buying, selling, and investing in property. The best real estate strategies out there just for you.
Welcome to Real Estate This Week. Hi again, I'm Stephen Gasque, and I'm delighted you're here as we talk about one of the biggest issues facing homeowners all across America, the frigid cold. A massive deep freeze, sending temperatures plunging and energy bills soaring. Today, we're going to help you keep those energy bills low. Expert strategies to keep your house comfortable as the thermometer drops to 10, 0, or even 10 below 0. Joining us now is Bill Stack, Energy Efficiency Manager for Eversource Energy, based in Manchester, New Hampshire. Eversource serves more than 3 million customers throughout the New England states. Bill, welcome to Real Estate This Week.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Nice to be here.
I am so glad you're with us. And so, Bill, the big storm last week is over, but frigid temperatures remain. So let's walk through some of the best strategies to stay comfortable and warm while saving as much money as possible on utility bills. And what I'd like to do, Bill, is start small and then build up, beginning with steps every homeowner can do this coming weekend that could reduce their energy bills. How about that?
Okay, sounds great.
Excellent. So let's begin at their thermostat. Bill, what's a reasonable temperature? I mean, we don't want it to be at 78, but we don't want it to be at 58. What's a reasonable temperature for the thermostat?
We recommend 68 degrees, but to your point, it's also a comfort level. If you have, your parents are living with you or have an infant, you might want to go a little bit higher just to make sure it's comfortable. But we suggest 68 degrees, and then when you're away from home, say at work, school, and when you're sleeping at night, lower it down to between 62 and 64 so that you'll be saving energy during the nighttime hours as well.
You know, Bill, the other day I talked to a good friend of mine who lives way up north, and she said, that's fine. Just wear a sweater.
Yeah, you can do that too. I mean, I do that as well because I work in energy efficiency, so I know I could always add a sweater, or my wife tends to throw a blanket or a throw on when we're going to, stream some movies or whatever the situation is, whatever your comfort level is, really, and depending on just how warm you want the living area to be.
And Bill, also, now let's move on to something else a homeowner can do, checking for leaks in doors and windows. Bill, what do I do there?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times around the door, you'll feel cold air coming in at the threshold, at the bottom of the door. So you want to buy those draft blockers or door sweeps, heavy door sweeps that would keep that cold air from coming in. If you have any cracks around windows, you could always use putty or a caulking all around the windows if they're drafty there as well. The big thing is you want to block any cold air from escaping, because where cold air is coming in, whatever you're heating is also going out. So you want to try and prevent any type of drafting whatsoever, like outdoor pipes, the pipes that lead out to where you'd have your hose outside. You want to make sure those are all covered so that you're not leaking warm air out and letting cold air in.
And Bill, let me get your opinion on something else. I have heard that if you not only close your windows, but also lock your windows, that will make them even tighter.
Steve, you're 100% right. I mean, you could have those old leaky windows. Locking them help, but even if you've replaced your windows, you have double pane or triple pane, you should lock them as well, because it creates that seal around the windows themselves that'll prevent any type of drafting from occurring. And it's a great security safety issue as well. So you're helping yourself energy efficiency wise, but you're also doing a little protecting of your property as well.
Excellent. And one thing that people can do themselves, which a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't do, is change their furnace filter. Bill, tell us about that and why it's so important.
Well, you want to change it. And it really depends on just depending on where you live, how much dirt or dust might be in the air. Manufacturers usually recommend 90 days, but you might want to check it every month because any type of dust or dirt that builds up in the filter, even if it's a little bit on the lower half of the filter, you want to replace that because that's impeding the natural flow of the heating system and restricting it so that the heat temperature that you set is not being met as efficiently as it could be because some of the warm air is technically being blocked just by that dust and dirt. And so that's the main reason why you want to change those filters.
Excellent. And of course, regular furnace maintenance is important as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I always tell people you want to before the cold season hits, September, October, have your furnace, a heating system checked because you don't want that first cold night to hit and you turn on the heat and it's not working. And now you've got a queue because there's probably a lot of people who've done the same thing. And now you have a queue of people that your heating contractor is trying to get to. So absolutely have it checked yearly in September, early October at the latest, just to make sure when that first cold night comes along, you know it's going to be working properly.
And Bill, let's stick with the things a homeowner can do themselves this weekend. One, of course, is making sure the ceiling fans are not only working, but they're set correctly. So in the winter, what should the fan be doing? Blowing air up or down?
Well, in the winter, you want to have the fans going clockwise because that holds the warm air down. Conversely, during the summer, you want it lifting the warm air out so the cooling is cooling the living space. But in the wintertime, you want it clockwise, and that'll keep the warm all the heat that's coming from your heating source stays in that living area and doesn't rise up. Especially if you have higher ceilings too, it'll help keep that area warm.
I see. And another low-tech approach, which you've talked about before on the show, is making sure that when the sun is out and it's bright, open up those curtains so the sun can help warm the interior of your house. And do the exact opposite at night.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm dating myself here, but it's like that 60s song, Let the Sun Shine In. You want to have the sun coming in during the daytime hours and help warm the living space. And as you suggest, conversely, close the drapes, close the blinds, pull the shades down, whatever heat that's there will remain in that living space.
And one other low-tech thing many people do, and it works, kind of, is using their fireplace. Not a wood stove, but just the fireplace to keep warm. Bill, what are the pros and cons of that?
Well, a lot of people love a nice fire going in the wintertime to stay warm, and especially if they're going to be in that room as well. I know there's a downside where other warm air from your heating source may go out that chimney as well. But I think in the long run, if that's what you want to do, it depends on, lifestyle choices. The key component is when you're done using that fireplace, make sure you close the flue so that the heat doesn't continue from your heating source, furnace, boiler, heat pumps, doesn't continue to go out that chimney, even though there's not a fire taking place. You want to make sure the fire is completely out. There's nothing there, no smoking, no timbers, nothing embers, nothing lit up still, and then close the flue.
And Bill, you and I have also talked about smart thermostats. Tell us about those. Are they really going to help me save money on energy in the winter, or not so much? Is that more of a summer thing? What do you think?
No, it's a winter thing too. As we discussed earlier, if you want to have your heating system set at 68 at night and when you're home, and then have it lower 62 to 64 when you're away, it's a great opportunity to use a smart thermostat or even just a plain programmable thermostat so that you set the schedule properly. So it'll lower automatically by itself and it'll raise the temperature by itself. So for example, 11 o'clock at night, it lowers the temperature while everyone's sleeping, 6 a.m. It goes back up to 68 so people are comfortable as they get ready for the day. And then if you go out of the house, everyone's out by 9. At 9 o'clock, you can bring it 9 a.m. You can bring it back down to a lower temperature when no one's in the home. And then it kicks on before everybody comes home. So you're saving energy on those intervals of where nobody's in the house or if you're sleeping. And a smart thermostat can help you set that schedule.
And Bill, now let's ramp up to things beyond what a normal homeowner can do into what a professional might be able to do to help button up your house and make it really energy efficient. Beginning with replacing or improving your insulation. Tell us about that.
Yeah, insulation is the number one way you can save the most on your heating and cooling, by the way, during the summer by making sure your house is properly insulated. So many homes in the New England area and across the country were built before zoning regulations, enforced certain amounts of insulation, both in the walls and in the attics. And we often find customers who weren't even aware that they didn't have wall insulation. So we have a great program where, depending on your income level, we can assess your insulation levels, give you an idea as a scope of work as to what needs to be done. And the program here in Massachusetts, Mass Save, will cover 100% of the cost of that, depending on your income, and at a minimum cover 75% of the cost of it. So at a minimum, 75% of the insulation we recommend that you add will be covered by the program. And depending again on your income level, 100% would be covered. And by putting the right levels of insulation in your home, you can save up to 15% on your heating bill during the winter months. And there's a
Wow.
old energy efficiency adage, Stephen, that a house that's not properly insulated is like leaving a window open all winter. And so we remind our customers about this when we're trying to make sure that they get their residents properly insulated.
Oh, Bill, that is great information. And we should remind everybody listening to this that Bill is located in New England with Eversource. And wherever in the United States you live, you can call your local utility and find out if there are credits or programs that will help you insulate your home or make other improvements. And so, Bill, one more thing I'd like to ask you about on the professional level is replacing old windows. Does that really matter? I mean, a lot of the older windows have the storm windows as part of the whole assembly. Can a new window really save energy?
Yes, they can. They can save up to 10% if you update your windows. If you have single pane windows, and even with the storm window, it's still not as efficient as the newer double pane, and especially the triple pane windows that are available. Again, Mass Save offers a $75 per window rebate for people to move to triple pane windows, the highest energy star models. We also offer 0% financing for that to help people pay to changing their windows. And the only thing that we ask people to do is obviously we have to assess the windows first before you change them. And then second, if there's insulation opportunities, insulation program, we mandate that you add the installation. What's the point of putting in new windows if cold air is coming in through the walls or through the attic because the house is not properly insulated? So we have a few requirements, and people can see them at masssave.com. And to your point earlier, I'm sure other utilities in cold climate areas may have programs that people can participate in as well to improve their windows during the heating season. And like I said, they also keep the cool air in during summer.
Excellent, Bill. Excellent. And one more thing involves the actual furnace. Tell us, would a brand new furnace that's Energy Star rated do a better job for less money than an old furnace?
Yes, absolutely. They have such technology over the years, advancements in the efficiency of equipment, furnaces, boilers. You can get up to 95% efficiency compared to, people might have 20-year-old boilers or furnaces in their home right now. So you could save, again, up to 10 to 15% by putting a high efficiency Energy Star model furnace, boiler in your home. And also, while you're doing that, make sure that you're adding the insulation because, again, you're getting a high efficiency heating system, but it's really not going to save you the dollars it should save you if you do not have a properly insulated home.
And Bill, you and I have talked about a lot of different things that people can do themselves or that a pro can do for you in your home to help you save energy. And wouldn't it be nice if everyone listening to this had a list of everything they had to do? And you know where I'm going with this, because you can, if you get an energy audit. Bill, can you tell us about that?
Sure. An energy audit is a great idea because you'll have an energy specialist come to your home and from your attic to your basement, look at everything that utilizes energy. Obviously, they'll look at insulation levels, they'll look at appliances, they'll look at your lighting, see if you're using LED bulbs, look at electronics. They'll look at everything in your home, air conditioning units, of course, heating units, and they will give you a personalized report as how you can become more energy efficient. And they will list the items that you should replace or update, and then list the programs that can offer you incentives and also finance, 0% financing to help you get there. Now, you don't have to do it all at once. It just gives you a general idea as make these improvements, become more energy efficient, take control of your energy usage and energy costs, and then step by step follow the personalized plan that is presented to you at the end of the assessment, and you'll start saving on energy use.
So, Bill, these aren't free, though. The energy audits cost some money, correct?
Well, no, in Massachusetts, they're called no-cost energy assessments, audits, if you will, because every utility, residential and commercial, they pay a small fee each month into this energy efficiency fund. So those fund the no cost. So there's no money up front to participate in a home energy assessment or a commercial assessment because you've already paid into the plan. Now it's the chance to take advantage of it, get that personalized report, and then take the steps you need to take or suggested that you take to become more energy efficient.
And no matter where you live in America, you can call your utility, once again, and ask, do you do energy audits and can I get one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes if you can visit their website, they may have it laid right out and you get a better idea what exactly you're going to receive for cost, recommendations, insulation programs, window programs, all that type of stuff. And same thing, they may have a Mass Save program, they may have a statewide program where you can participate, from in Massachusetts, from the Berkshires to the Cape. The program mirrors each other. Everyone qualifies for the Mass Save program in those areas, unless they live in a municipal lighting or heating area.
I see. I see. And Bill, there's something else I wanted to ask you in terms of the energy audit. Now, look, if you are selling a house in the dead of winter, you can't inspect the roof because it's covered with snow. So can you get an energy audit in the middle of winter when the house is completely buried in snow? Or do you have to wait for spring or not?
No, you can get them in the wintertime. We still have people signing up. They may not save this winter, but they'll save for cooling in the summer, and then they'll be all set for next year. The looking at the roof aspect of it, we'll be inside the house. We'll see the attic from the inside to see what insulation levels are in the attic. We can take a look. Speaking of the snow, if snow's melting off the roof with these cold temperatures, that's telling you heat's already escaping from. So we'll get an idea. It's the heat's already escaping. That chances are you need insulation in your attic. But we can also see if you need it in the walls and get just to get a great idea. The other thing we utilize too during these assessments is passive infrared detectors. So we can stand outside the house and see where warm air is coming out. And then conversely, walk through the house and see where cold air is coming in. So we get a better perspective as to just where the cold air comes in and where the warm air is escaping. And that's where you probably need the insulation. Like I said, in these older homes here in New England and Massachusetts, it's usually wall insulation that's not up to the standard or up to the codes nowadays.
Well, Bill, after the big freeze last week and the big storm we had, the temperatures right now are more moderate. But this coming weekend, they're expected to plunge once again. Bill, what are you going to do, my friend, in your own home to get ready for the polar freeze that's on the way?
Well, it's similar to what I've been doing for the last few weeks in regards to trying to make sure the house stays warm when I'm at work and no pipe issues. I actually have a 100-year-old home. We have the wall insulation, attic insulation, but I have radiators. So I have decorative radiator covers, so I move those aside so that the radiators can fully radiate throughout. And people should check too in their homes if they have vents to make sure no rugs or furniture block them, baseboards, they're not being blocked by drapes or, again, furniture. You want to make sure whatever you're using for delivery of the heating system, vents, baseboards, radiators, you want to make sure they're free of debris, they're not being blocked, they're able to send the heat out, flow naturally, so that you get the highest efficiency out of the heating system, number one, and you make sure that the living area is also at a temperature where you not have to worry about pipes freezing.
And knowing you, Bill, I bet you're also going to be wearing a sweater.
I will be, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Bill, I really want to thank you for being on the show today and helping everyone out there figure out best strategies for staying warm in their home when the temperature plunges. Thank you, Bill.
Well, thank you, Steve, and thank you for having me today.
You're very welcome. Bill Stack, Energy Efficiency Manager for Eversource Energy, based in Manchester, New Hampshire. Eversource serves more than 3 million customers throughout the New England states. Next time on Real Estate This Week, your romantic home. We'll talk to an interior designer about how you can fill your house and your heart with love this Valentine's Day. Your romantic home is next on Real Estate This Week. And until then, I'm Stephen Gasque, and thank you for listening.
A brand new episode of Real Estate This Week with Stephen Gasque drops every Thursday, everywhere. And you're invited to listen, subscribe, and follow us. Just look for Real Estate This Week with Stephen Gasque. The best real estate strategies out there, just for you.